What is going on, guys? My name is Trypal and welcome back to the second installment of 100 Spawns. This is a spin on Loot the Notables 100-day series where I spawn in 100 times into a game or game mode with the sole purpose of racking up the most eliminations. I've already done 100 spawns as the Assault class just a few weeks ago, so be sure to go check out that video after watching this one. Now guys, if you enjoyed the video, you must smash the like button. Not because I enjoy watching you suffer, but rather, I don't know if you like this content. The last video got 1,500 views and I have 170k subscribers. That means 1, the video did not go out to my sub boxes, or 2, you just don't like the content. So if you want to see more, make sure you leave a comment down below letting me know and drop a like on the video to help out the algorithm. Additionally, my friends and I have posted our first episode of 100 rounds versus over on our group channel Imperium. This series is similar to 100 spawns, except that my friends and I compete against each other, and it ends up being an extremely intense video with a lot of live moments, friendly banter, and crazy montage clips. The second installment of 100 rounds versus is almost out, and I'm telling y'all, if you have not watched the first one, you are missing out. Last thing, if you haven't heard, I graduated and I have a job now, which means I am pushing YouTube full force once again in my free time, so you can expect a lot of content from here on out. Anyway guys, as promised, today I will spawn in 100 times as the Specialist class in Star Wars Battlefront 2 Galactic Assault. Also, can we just take a step back and appreciate how good of a job Maeder did drawing Crosshair? I mean, this is just incredible, guys. It needs more recognition. Okay, enjoy. Alright, so spawn number 1, we started off on good old Tatooine as the Empire. I almost ran right past the lizard without shooting its tail, but luckily I had a last minute epiphany. And you all know what that means. It's already time for a montage. Spawn 2, I spawned into the cantina, which at the time was a complete war zone. After escaping, I made my way to the edge of the map where I picked up a few easy kills with the help of Darth Maul. I thought I was on the verge of another montage already, but then this walker spawned in. If you watched 100 spawns as the Assault class, you'll understand how OP these things are. Spawn number 3, I managed to get to a place where I could essentially spawn kill the enemy, and did very well for a few kills. That was until this fly landed on my nose in real life, and so I missed one too many shots. Spawn number 4, I was caught in the act of trying to get back on top of the building, but after a swift retreat, I was able to pick off all the witnesses. I tried to find more spots on the map that I could climb, which ultimately led me to this guy who I somehow tied with. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Spawn 5, I spawned in, looked at the scoreboard, and the game ended. I love when that happens. I began spawn number 6 playing tactical as always by darting to the right side of the map and taking cover behind this pole. It's not much, but it'll have to do. I got about 5 kills before attracting a ton of attention and was forced to move backwards. After picking up a few notable kills from this angle, I was forced to retreat even further. It's a good thing too, because Anakin, he was on his way to take care of me, if you know what I mean. In the end, my spree still came to a stop when this pilot delivered death from above. Spawn 7, Anakin got his chance to kill me after I mindlessly walked into his force pool. That was fun. Spawn 8, I tried my luck spawning in on Dinosaur 1991. And that, my friends, is a definition of poor timing. Spawn number 9, I made sure to start at the back of the map. From here, I managed to pick off a few straggling opponents, but inevitably ran into a guy whose E11D can apparently shoot straight through walls. I don't even think you can blame input delay on that one. This dude right here might very well be cheating. I quickly ran into Luke on spawn 10, but somehow my life was spared. After retreating back, I decided to wait in this position so I could snipe the easy troops once they come through. It was a great plan, except for the fact that instead of easy troops coming through, it was just Anakin. Yeah, lucky for me, I was just out of his range of his ability, so after watching all my comrades get executed, I decided to run back and play tactical. I know it looks like I'm just camping here, but the idea was that if all the troops run through the door, then I could take them out from behind one by one. Solid plan, except for the fact that I forgot that the enemy can come through the left side of the map. So of course, I got bagged by a max level player named Tweety Joe Mama. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. For spawn 11, I seem to be lost, even though there's a giant icon on the screen that says stop gate control. I guess it took me one too many seconds to see that, because just as I made it to the objective, the enemy finished taking it. For spawn number 12, I figured I'd run all the way to the edge of the map once again, since it worked out so very well last game. Problem was, my thumbs were not exactly cooperating this time around, and so I missed quite a few shots and attracted a heavy turret before getting sniped in the head. Spawn 13, I got 3 consecutive snipes in a row before Kylo Ren decided to stroll past my position. I managed to use these crates to stay alive for a little longer, but somehow his lightsaber hit me here. I really do not know how.
Hey, what in the world is that?
As you could imagine, I was not too happy about the last encounter, so I rightfully took it upon myself to play a bit more aggressive on Spawn 14. It worked for a grand total of 1 kill before I was picked off by the best gun in the game, the A280. Spawn 15, I took out these 2 unsuspecting troopers before the 3rd nearly killed me. Luckily, I'm good at using movement to bait people in this game, so even though I almost burned myself to death doing so, I ended up coming out on top. I then rotated to the right of the map where I picked up some nice back-to-back snipes before an assault class jumped on me from behind. For spawn 16, I noticed Tweety Joe Mama was cowering away in the sky, so I attempted to snipe him. It didn't really work, if you couldn't guess, but I had to try. Since the max rank was busy in the air, I figured it was time to get serious. Spawn 17, I unfortunately did not look at the scoreboard before spawning in.
Wait, why do we have 2 guys left? What are we doing? What have we been doing the whole time? Team, what the? We haven't even pushed up. There's only one thing I can do. I mean, that's it. We lost. Unbelievable.
At least I got top 5, so you can't blame me for that loss. Right? Spawn 18, we're on Yavin 4, which is not the best map for a sniper, let's just say. Knowing this, I opted to pitch my tent inside this little single-room building and wait for the enemy. Little did either of us know, this Daxi kid was camping right outside of it. So, of course, I had to go out there and show him that there's only room for one specialist in this game, and that's me. This might have happened to alert half the enemy team, so after some intense struggling, I was finally put out of my misery. I made it to the middle of the map for Spawn 19 and was quickly faced with a sniper showdown. Don't worry, we won as usual. I then got one more kill before I was taken out from the direction of my very own team.
There's 2 rebels on my team doing nothing. Look at them.
Everything was going according to plan in Spawn 20. I took a few hits, but in the end, I scraped together a good 3 kills. Then the enemy team pushed me back, and I decided, hey, I'm gonna stay and fight to the death. I do not regret my actions. This same wall from the first 100 spawns episode still seemed to be a problem here. What can I say? I'm a slow learner. Soon enough, I found my way to this dude moving like a monkey, and somehow I hit him. I don't know either, man. Apparently that's a headshot. I then proceeded to take a giant dump on that Daxi kid again. I'm truly sorry for that. I then took out a few more clueless troopers before crossing paths with the evil BB-8, which EA thinks is a villain after 3 minutes of screen time. Yep, cause that makes sense. Spawn 22 was yet another one of those wasted rounds where the game immediately ends once I spawn in. I need to get better at calling that, but hey, my KD was positive again, so I really can't complain. As the Empire, I opted to take the right side of the map for Spawn 23. I had a perfect shot lined up on the enemy, but my bright teammates decided to drop a bubble shield right in front of me. If that wasn't bad enough luck, the turret's bullets then began shooting me around the bubble, and I ended up losing my life to a blurg. Just sad. And to put icing on the cake, I spawned inside the bubble for Spawn 24. After venturing out a few steps, I became extremely confused by the terrain and structures on this map. For some reason, I thought it was different than before, so while I was trying to figure all that out behind a tree, an officer took me out. And on that note, I made my way to the left side of the map for Spawn 25. And what do you know? My luck improved. Spawn 26, I started in the heat of battle, but that didn't stop me from landing every single nasty flick shot. In my experience, running around and playing angles is the best way to survive, so that's exactly what I did until this MLG heavy player sat me in my place. I continued my rampage in Spawn 27 by taking a position that overlooked a hill which the enemy continuously spawned behind. After an extensive amount of snipes, I finally got pinned by a heavy sentry, and I simply couldn't hold on. Spawn 28, I had a very close encounter with Han Solo and Rey. Luckily, my comrade distracted the Jedi long enough for me to escape through the jungle. After what seemed to be one of the longest overtimes in history, we actually broke through the enemy defenses. Moving up to the base, I had some rather notable no-scopes. You probably forget, I made a how-to pesky sniper video in this game 3 years ago, so I know what I'm doing. After taking down many stragglers, I finally got pinned behind this crate, and it was only a matter of time before one bullet made it through. Spawn 29, I started to push into the base for a little closer range combat. Nothing's changed though, I'm still hitting my shots. Once inside the base, it was a bit confusing to me because I could not find a single enemy. Finally, Han Solo showed up, but we took him down easy. I was then looking towards what I thought was the enemy spawn, but turns out they all still spawn behind us. Noted. For Spawn 30, I hit 2 jumping no-scopes back to back, so that was really cool. Little confidence boost, no biggie. After that, I struggled to find anyone once again. I managed to take down this last officer, but the game concluded moments later. And look at that, 50 elims in one game. From me. That's like half the total kills I got as an assault class. Just kidding, that's not true. Go watch the video. Spawn 31, we made it onto Naboo, and it turns out hiding behind flowers does not work out too well. They don't block bullets. At all. Spawn 32, the bullet busters are back on my team with these stupid shields, man. I don't know why they feel the need to pop these things every 5 seconds. Anyway, after hitting some nice snipes, I soon found this guy who was really hard to kill thanks to the enemy team having a bullet buster of their own. I killed him in the end, but his teammate quickly got revenge. For Spawn 33, I found a lost clone, so I had to do him a favor and directed him to the respawn screen. After moving up a bit more, I killed my first walker driver. The rest of Spawn 33 was extremely boring. I scored a few nice kills before eventually realizing that there is no one left in this match. With that in mind, I focused on conserving my spawns and simply played the objective. You want an idea of just how little people were in this game? I got first place. That should tell you something. The game tried to load into another small lobby, so I was forced to quit the match. This, of course, reset the map rotation I was on for Spawn 34, but that's completely fine for me because I landed on a long-range map. This should be fun as a sniper. Since I seem to always go to the right off spawn, I figured I'd mix things up and go left. Unfortunately, my luck was unchanged. I picked up 2 kills and died to a walker through a rock. Awesome. I spawned in the front lines on spawn 35. You know I'm not about that life, so I made an immediate retreat. It's ironic because once I retreated, I ended up getting more action in the back of the map rather than at the objective. Anyway, the course of this fight forced me to move up towards this pillar for cover, and that's when Leia showed up. I had everything under control as always. I even did this.
Oh! How did I do that?
Don't worry, Leia inevitably got justice for me disrespecting her teammate. The Bullet Buster is back on spawn 36. I'm starting to think my team works for the enemy. I spent the remainder of this life attempting to parkour over these rocks. Finally, I had success. The plan here was to wait for the enemy to push up and I'd shoot them in the back as they do so. Did it work? Of course. That was only until I tried to run and noticed Leia was waiting for me. As you can see on spawn 37, my opponents only have 4 ATTEs left, so I didn't expect this match to last much longer. Time to go for some clicks. Now that's a victory if I've ever seen one. My boy's head got saved by that timer. Spawn 38, I finally matched Kashyyyk. Let me tell you something about Kashyyyk. I love Kashyyyk. Fantastic map. You wanna know why? Because you see this mountain right here? You can get on it. At this moment, I recall doing it, but I just couldn't figure out exactly how, so we'll come back to it. Anyway, I made my way to the edge of the enemy spawn where I found some very high level players standing completely still. After dismantling a few more droids, it finally hit me. The way to get on the mountain was to use this ledge. Knowing I might die, I knew I had to try. It was a necessary casualty. Spawn 39 was the most productive spawn of the entire video. I walked a few feet up this hill, fired one shot, and was obliterated immediately. I have no words for that. There was a lot going on at the start of spawn 40. I came out alive, but honestly, I don't know how. Since I figured I was on borrowed time, I figured I'd push onto the enemy front lines. To my surprise, my teammate Dolor Ghost joined me. My man. I tried to communicate via the universal sign of peace, but he seemed confused.
He's accepted defeat? What is he doing? My dude, run! What are you doing? Run back, my man! Run! You can still make it! You got this! You got this!
On my way back to safety, I ran into this bold droid trying to cut me off. With a little bait and switch action, I easily took care of him. I then discovered that you can't walk through these bushes, which is totally stupid. After destroying this AFK AAT, I then ran into Darth Vader. And that was that. Spawn 41, I made it look like I'm a mouse and keyboard, but I promise, I'm on controller.
Oh my gosh, I'm disgusted. Uh-oh. Well,
Spawn 42, I found a guy that can see through walls apparently. I knew I was not winning that, so I made a swift retreat back to a better position. I ended up getting so bored that I started shooting at starships, which apparently alerted Kylo Ren.
please, please, spare me! Spare me! Okay, hold on, this guy's actually pretty bad, hold on. Alright.
Spawn 43, it's apparent that my thumbs have forgotten all their training and I have no idea how to aim. After seeing Vader get close, I knew I had to hide. Once the big boys had passed, I took my opportunity to take down a few easy clangers. And that's when this commando droid started sneaking up on me, so I was forced to play the element of surprise. Just when I had the opportunity to strike, the match ended.
Oh, come on.
Spawn 44, I'm now the droids on Kashyyyk. After walking a few steps, I fired my sniper only to realize it's an A280. Yeah, it seems I accidentally spawned in as an assault class. The real Spawn 44, I discovered there is no fall damage in this game. Nice. I quickly disposed of this unsuspecting clone and then immediately darted to break out of the map. Once in position, I acquired this nice triple kill. After repositioning, I missed one too many snipes, which led to my downfall. Spawn 45, I found myself very close to an ion disruptor. I was peacefully exploring the area, of course, when I was suddenly jumped by 2 clone troopers. Spawn 46, I attempted to get another walker kill under my belt, but it seems he made a narrow escape. I then found myself at the same location as the last life, picked up 1 kill, and got gunned down by a starship immediately after.
Seriously? That's what I died to? Unreal.
Spawn 47 was almost the quickest spawn of this entire video. Don't ask me where I got shot from. I then moved up a couple feet only to once again get caught with my pants down. For Spawn 48, I was slightly frustrated, you see, and decided to give first-person sniping a try. I of course quickly ran into Obi-Wan. At first I was startled, but then I realized we had him severely outnumbered, so we properly disposed of him. I then watched a clone get nuked.
Oh my gosh. That dude just got deleted.
After taking position in this Wookiee hut, I finally got on a roll. Since first person worked out so well last spawn, I figured I'd keep it up for spawn 49. After a few kills, I was able to secure the objective. I walked outside to stop the opposing forces, but things got a little too heated a little too quickly. It's all good though, because in spawn 50, I got some revenge. After finally taking out this Wookiee, I then discovered that jet troopers also are a 3-shot snipe to the body. Awesome. Spawn 51 was interesting. Yeah, it was if I spawned in, but my screen was stuck on the load screen. Very weird. Nonetheless, I apparently died. I don't know. We finally made it to the hangar by spawn 52, but I quickly received a dose of my own medicine. Spawn 53, I was dealing with some important text messages, so that would be why it looks like I'm playing with one hand. Once I was back to the game, I quickly ran into yet another bullet buster.
Hey. Out of the way, man. Whose team are you on?
I finally managed to get one snipe, only to get killed by yet another jet trooper. If I could remove one thing from this game, that would be it. Mark my words. Spawn 54, I was done messing around. Focused on surviving. I managed to escape death one too many times until finally Obi-Wan sent me flying. I straight up got outplayed in Spawn 55, I can't even lie. I thought this dude was dead, but apparently he wasn't, so that was really embarrassing. With a death like that, there was only one thing that I could do in Spawn 56, and that was of course to obtain revenge. I had to fight for it, and it wasn't easy, but in the absolute final second of the game, your boy came out on top. Alright, Spawn 57, we landed on Death Star 2. Immediately, I had no idea where to go as a sniper on this map, so bear with me. I soon found this corner to sit in, but no one came through. After moving to the opposite side, I managed to get the jump on a few clueless rebels. We then started losing the objective that I just came from, so I tried to get up close and personal with the enemy. But as you can see, I failed. Miserably, might I add. Spawn 58, I landed a nice snipe on a rebel before I moved a little too close to the enemy.
Oh.
Ah! You would have thought that I learned my lesson for Spawn 59, but it looks like I'm very persistent at this moment and unfortunately jumped straight into a Vanguard. Spawn 60, my ability ran out just as this rebel decided to challenge me. Knowing I only had one shot, I patiently sat in this corner and surprisingly, I landed it. He had a Vanguard though, so once again, I traded. For Spawn 61, I ran into a little Timmy hiding behind a precious little shield of his. I would have loved to play with him longer, but my time was unfortunately cut short by this opposing Ewok. That's what I get, I guess. Spawn 62 was hilarious. I quickly got chased by Luke Skywalker, but managed to outplay him with the oldest play in the book.
No way that worked. No way that worked. Yo. He's on my team. Ah!
As you can see from the footage of Spawn 63, I decided to throw being tactical right out the window and instead push the enemy head on. I don't know why I thought that would work. It's all good though, because I believe I redeemed myself in Spawn 64 as I defeated Luke Skywalker. Yeah, it took a few extra shots, but the job got done. After narrowly escaping the grasp of death, I soon ran into this lone rebel who I thought I could get away with no-scoping. Little did I know, he was a heavy class and desperately popped his shield. Absolutely despicable. Spawn 65, this shield deflected both my teammate and I's grenade, so I had to get up close and personal in order to handle this guy myself. The rest of the spawn was completely useless. I tried sniping this rebel in the back, but she too had a shield. Tried sniping through Vader, but that also didn't work. And then I got hit by this shock grenade.
I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead.
Spawn 66, I determined it was best if I sat in this corner and waited for the enemy to advance. Since no one checks their corners, this was too easy. After my cover was blown, I then retreated to a safer position. I managed to pick up a few kills here and there, but turns out this was not safe at all. After returning to my camp spot, I was soon met by a Wookiee who hastily took me down. Spawn 67, I was stuck in the same room with enemies coming from what seemed to be every angle. I managed to play my cards right against a few rebels, but was inevitably defeated, as expected. Spawn 68 was just as hectic. My strategy was to not stop jumping and sniping, so I guess my movement was good enough for me to survive until the end of the round. Oh, and I got 5th place as a sniper on this map. That is truly shocking. Spawn 69, I brought the heat straight to the enemy. I'm talking no scopes, boldly charging in, saucy headshots, and even attempted to play the objective for some reason. As notable as it might look, I quickly regretted my actions. For Spawn 70, I wanted to continue applying pressure to the enemy, and was able to pull off a rather successful flank which got me about 5 elims. I then used my teammate as cover while I continued to press forward. I ended up taking cover next to this wall before quickly getting shot in the back, which informed me that there's a door there. That is news to me. For Spawn 71, I opted to stand a little further back with my team and outslay the opposing forces from a distance. This was great, but it unfortunately did not stop my teammates from getting in my way.
Move, bimbo.
After taking a few more troops out, my character then decided to roll right into the line of fire. Spawn 72, I was not in the most optimal position, let's just say, and was forced to face the enemy head on. I actually did surprisingly well up close, but soon found myself in a boxing match with a death trooper. He quickly broke the rules and decided to start shooting, so I lost. Spawn 73, please enjoy watching me in panic mode. There was seriously nothing I could do here. For Spawn 74, I got a little carried away trying to take down this death trooper and jeopardized my positioning just to do so. It was a calculated risk, I assure you, but ultimately Unfortunately, I got jumped from behind and simply could not land the shots needed in order to survive. If you think I'm doing absolutely horrible right now, you'd be right. And let me tell you that spawn 75 was no exception. By spawn 76, I'm ready to actually do something productive for once. So I thought. At this point, I began questioning my abilities.
I don't even know what just killed me.
Spawn 77, I shot this sniper in the back only to turn around and see Darth Vader was there to welcome me. It seems my luck has completely run out at this point. Don't worry though, your boy's not a quitter. If I have to be blind while I land snipes in spawn 78, then believe me, I will do just that. After clearing the way and moving up, I then just simply dropped dead. I know it says Grievous killed me, but I generally didn't see him at all, so I don't buy it. Spawn 79, I finally made it to a place where no one else seemed to be. After tickling my opponent's health bars, the match finally concluded, thus ending what has got to be one of the absolute worst games of this entire Hunter Spawn series. For spawn 80, it seems I'm in assault class once again. I should really pay more attention here. The real spawn 80 began with some failed snipes from far away. Moving in closer, I was able to grab 2 kills before getting outgunned by a third. In spawn 81, I was jumped by yet another heavy shield popper.
Yo, my guy.
Hello there.
Oh man, it's too easy.
I then made my way onto this crate before immediately getting sniped in the head. Nice. For spawn 82, I found my people and decided I would join them on the edge of this debris for a little bit of fun. Spawn 83, I had the plan to... And I'm already dead. Okay, I'm gonna blame my spawn location on that one. Spawn 84 came pretty close to matching it though. How unfortunate. Spawn 85, I found a chicken, space, ostrich, thingy. It's pretty cute. After rejoining my team on the front lines, I wasted no time to put in some work, but was soon shot through stairs. They have holes in them apparently. The bad spawn locations returned in spawn 86 as I landed directly next to Anakin. Thanks game, appreciate that. Since I was dying so much, I figured I would actually play like a sniper for once and decided to sit back. I received some massive resistance, sniped the sentry turret straight in the head, and yet he somehow survives only to shoot me straight through cover. It's unbelievable at this point, I really don't know. Spawn 88, I tried to stop it. Alright, I played a bit more safe, only poking when I had a clear shot to kill. After a while, I didn't see anyone, and the game was coming to a quick end, so I pushed out to see if I could locate anyone to snipe, but ended up getting myself killed yet again by a sentry turret. What a game that was. To be honest, I'm surprised I didn't rage quit that one. For spawn 89, understandably, I had to go get myself a snack so that I could make it through these last 11 spawns without rage quitting. By the time I joined the fight, we had already lost one objective. What is my team doing? Because of this, I had to opt to take matters into my own hands and get up close and personal with the enemy. It was going well until I got jumped by a heavy class while I was on low HP. Lucky for him. By spawn 90, we had already lost the second objective, so I had to set up to defend the hangar, and that's when I discovered a lot of things about this map.
There's walkers on this map? They can come in here? I don't think my team knew that.
As mesmerized as I was, I still went down fighting. Spawn 91, I found this little crack in the debris which allowed me to bully the opposing snipers. I'm honestly surprised that worked out as well as it did. As always, I got bored sitting back and decided I wanted to take a fight up close against a sentry turret. Somehow, we traded. That guy is really bad. Spawn 92, I was minding my own business when this sniper decided to send me straight back to the respawn screen. How thoughtful of him. In Spawn 93, I still had that fighting spirit within me to push up as a sniper for some reason, and rightfully got electrocuted to death by Papa Palps. In Spawn 94, I tried to defend the right side of the map, unaware that Kylo Ren was already there, practically waiting for me. Can you guess what happened? He killed me. Spawn 95, I somehow managed to headshot this dude while rolling, and then proceeded to join the chaos on the front lines. After a fair amount of kills, I noticed we were losing the objective and headed back to check it out. This was one of my many mistakes in this video. For Spawn 96, I opted to defend the right side once more. This time, I had a little more success. That was until I saw Vader and Kylo Ren, but for once, I actually escaped. The rest of this life was some of the most chaotic Battlefront 2 gameplay I've ever seen, but of course, I was finally killed off. Spawn 97, I found myself chasing after an opponent with 3 times my health for some reason. Was that the smart play? Of course not, but hey, what's done is done. Since I thought that was so smart at the time, I decided to do it again in Spawn 98. You know I have to make up for my bad plays, right? And make up for them, I did. I concluded this spawn by going for a nasty no-scope clip, but just as I went to pull the trigger, the game ended, which prevented me from shooting. I think we can all agree that I would have hit this. For Spawn 99, I noticed about half my team got confused by this door not opening up for them, so I knew I was in for a wild ride. Knowing I only had a few lives left, I knew I had to go on a tear. Alright boys, here it is, spawn 100. Although I died to a grenade last round, my confidence was still extremely high and I had no hesitation pushing the enemy head on once again. I was landing nearly every single shot until unfortunately I missed one too many shots against this final opponent. Scrambling behind this tree, she was able to take me down before I even had a chance to think about escaping, and with that said, this challenge is officially over. So in conclusion of my 100 spawns as the specialist class, I obtained a notable 361 elims, 308 of which were kills. For not using a sniper in this game for a few years, I'd say that's pretty respectable, but I'll let you be the judge down below. But before you go, be sure to drop a like on the video if you enjoyed, check out 100 spawns versus on our group channel Imperium, and let me know down below what game, class, and or game mode I should do next. I'm kinda thinking Splitgate. Anyone? With that said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.